I'm exploring the power of a single price action for our time frame entry model. That is what how I would call it. I would call it. But the name is not important. We have a lot of complicated names, but that's not a big deal. Let me go to for time frame here. Okay, so let me start this fresh. Okay, some rules. One, never enter before the session opens. You'd better miss a trade than enter too early. And then wait for 4 hour candle to close. Those two rules are very important. Okay, let me start here. This is what time is this? This is 29th. It's a Monday. Just mark high candle. This is the first candle of the day, and this is the next one, the second candle of the day. Okay. Okay. Rule 1: never enter before the session opens. When this candle closes at 8 o'clock my time, which is GMT +3. So I wait for that candle to fully close. Okay. And then I wait for the session which I want to trade to open. So I'm waiting for London. No entry before London. Okay. Let me highlight this area here. And then 5-minute time frame. I wait for the session to open. Okay. Where am I? Yes, here we go. Okay, it's not there. It's right here. Okay. Okay, now before we do that, let me mark another 4 hour zone, which would be my take profit, which is this one here. Okay, so I have observed rule 1, which is waiting for session to open. I wait for London session to open. Okay, here. Remove the box. Okay, yeah. So the London session, yeah, this is the London window, right? This is 9 my time. I wait for 10 o'clock. Let me mark it very strictly. Let me say 9:55. Never enter before. Yeah, okay. So whatever you're doing, wait for 9:55. The session to open. So entering the NR, for example, if this is 9 here, this was a good sell here. This is 9 o'clock. If you sold here, they would hit you and continue to go in your direction. You wait for 10 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock. Okay. So at 10 o'clock, you start to observe what is going on. This was a breakout. They broke the 4-hour zone. They have come back to retest it. Now from 10, we want to see clean close below the 4-hour zone and the moving average, which is right here. 10, 10, 10, this is 10.15, very safe trade. Why? Because everything is in line. The previous 4-hour candle is closed, which is this one. The session has opened, which is here, 10:10 here. This was the stop and move, 10:10 here. Sell here, only 7 pips. Yeah, only 7 pips. You put your take profit here, you flee the scene. That is the first example. And we don't remove the zones. Okay, here now. Okay, so this is a This is yes. Okay. This is 16 o'clock. This candle closed at 16 o'clock. Let us wait for this candle to close. So with the New York, we have two candles, two 4-hour candle closures, which are important. First, we have this one, which closed at noon. It is closed. And then we have this one, which closed at 16 o'clock, and it's a pullback. They have pulled back into this zone here. It is closed. So we are safe there. We have waited for the 4-hour to close. Now what is next? We are waiting for the session to open. The session, of course, is the next 4-hour candle. The session is the immediate next 4-hour candle. Let me go to 5 minutes. And wait. Okay, wait that. And then, of course, another will be observing, waiting for price to close below the moving average using the 5-minute entry model here. This is 16:15, yeah, 16:30 new equity market open. Sell here. Stop loss goes there. Target these lows. Never a peep more. Never a peep more. Okay. But for again, go for another day. Okay. This was 29th. Let me go to 30th. This is 30th. And I mark the low right there. Price can just run away, which is fine. Should be fine with that. Okay. Rule 1. We've waited for this candle to close and this candle to close. Now let us see if we can get an entry during London and the 30th. Where's 30th? 30th is here, okay? We wait for the London session to open. It is opened here. There was nothing clean really. 9:55. This is 10 o'clock. Well, could have tried here, but this is oversold for me. So this was not an entry. I would want to sell from here. So I just pass. New York, nothing really, nothing. So 30th is off. And I think the same applies to 1st of October. Second now. Just want this to be a bit not too long. Okay, so 2nd of October. Here. No, yeah. This is 2nd of October. I mark that high. This is yes. No. This is here. These two candles are important. I mark this low. Okay. Yeah, this is an inside candle. And then of course we have our target here for take profit. Okay. Let me mark this area here and then go to 5 minutes on the 2nd of October. Okay, 2nd of October is here. Okay. Rule 1. Never enter before the session opens. Look at this candle here. This is a 9:40, enticing you to buy. But the London session is not opened, so no entry for me. 2, wait for the 4 candle to close. This 4 candle is closed. So we have observed that very well. This candle is closed. And then we don't enter this candle. We wait. 3, rule number 3. Wait for price to close above or below the moving average and the 4-hour level. 4-hour level. You need those two areas to be in your favor. Okay. So here I wait. So the session opens here. Until here, I have done nothing. And I know that it's a bearish day. So I wait this here. This would be my killer punch here. 11:10, I sell. I put my TP here. I flee the scene. That's the 2nd of October. Back to 4-hour time frame. And then you have, what do you have here? Let me remove this. Okay. Okay, so we have to keep some of these zones. For example, here, there's another area here which has been formed, and we still have this. It's still relevant. New York now, on the same day. Okay, 5-minute time frame, 2nd of October. Here we go. Okay. Wait for the 4 end of the close. Okay. The first kind of close, the first 4 kind of closed here. I waited, so I'm safe there. And then the next 4 kind of closed here. I wait. No. Here. I wait for it to close. I do nothing before. So that is the first rule. And I know I'm bearish. So I wait for price to close below the 4-hour zone. It has closed before zone, below the 4-hour zone here. That is tick 1. And below the moving average, it is closed below the moving average here. In fact, there was another 4-hour zone here, so I might have to be quite safe and rules-based, I would probably wait for them to close below this 4-hour zone here as well, just to make sure that I followed all the rules. So tick close below the 4-hour zone. Yes, tick here. This is 1610. Here, this is 1630 below the moving average here, below the 4-hour zone again here. This is where I would sell with a lot of peace. Only 9 pips risk, no drawdown, 26 pips in the pocket. I move on. Okay. Keep some of these zones. Okay, let me remove this. Okay, so we saw them this kind of breaking above this 4-hour zone. That is an indication that we are bullish. And then we have another zone here which is under a lot of pressure from this candle here. So, and then of course at 8 o'clock we have this zone here formed. Okay, tick now. I wait. So we wait for this candle to close below, even before the London session. Okay, that is tick 1. And then now wait. Let me go to 5-minute time frame. 5-minute time frame. Okay. This was quite choppy during London. We can't do anything here. But then nothing to do because we have fresh highs. They have not been tapped. I wait. This is 16. Yeah, this 4 candle is closed. I wait. I do nothing, and it's a bearish candle. I know that they are targeting this close here, so I wait for that candle to close, and then This is 14. If I waited here, I waited for the pre-New York candle forward candle to close as well here. But this is 16 o'clock. This was a trade buy. Stop loss goes here. Take profit here. That was a clean one as well. Let me quickly go through what I've seen in USD CAD using exactly the same approach. And I don't care about the NFP or anything. This is 16. No, this kind of closed it at noon and it's bearish. No question about that. So we have 2 4-hour zones here. And this pair you must trade it during New York. Then we have another zone right there. Okay. Here. So 5-minute time frame. My entry. Let's start. Okay. I don't care about the news. I just care about my setup. So I wait for 4-hour candle to close. Where did it close? It closed here. Okay. It closed here. The 4-hour candle closed here. That was after NFP. I don't care about NFP. I just care about my setup. Okay. And then, okay, I've not entered before the session opened. But this is a very, very New York pair. We have two big and strong economies which are controlling this pair. So we have to be very careful. So, I've not entered before the session opened. If I had sold NFP, I would have sold here. But then here, this is 16 o'clock. I wait for the New York equity market to open. And then, so right now I'm below the moving average. I wait. This is a 16.25. This is 16.30. This is 16.35. Could have entered here. There was a very nasty pullback which would have probably shaken you off. This was a 6 pips. Would just stay away from the system, because otherwise you would probably exit here with a loss. Okay, the weight, this is 1645. This is 1655. This is 1655. This is now a clean entry. Sell. The plus goes there, only 4 pips. Boom, that's it. Quickly, you're out. Okay, let me do pound USD quickly. Pound USD. Okay, 4-hour time frame. Okay, so what do we have? This is a NFP day. Yes, I know. This is a 0 0. I think GJ is a very good pair to trade. Because it works well even during New York sessions, and then it doesn't get affected very much during the US news. Some 4 hours to mark there, and obviously this is 0 0. This is 0. This is 8 o'clock. Look at this candle, clearly indicating that it's going to be a bullish day. Let me see if there was an entry during London. 5-minute time frame. Okay. So 1 before I can just closed. Yes, it closed here. Session open. Sessions during London. You have to be very careful with sessions. Look at how they are enticing you to enter too early. But this was a trade. At 10 o'clock, this was a trade. Let me see where GJ was. GJ was nowhere. But then this was a trade at 10 o'clock. Because prices tapped the 4 hour zone and it has closed above the moving average. This was a trade. We buy, put a stop loss here. 10 pips, you run away because you know NFP is coming. You don't hold it. Boom, you're out. And then NFP now. This is a now I saw this to 5 minutes. Okay. So this is very interesting. Here, look at that. This was a trade. The 4 candles closed. Now you have to observe the sensitivity of a US-based pair as compared to pound JPY during the New York session. Because if you bought this and you are able to hold it here, you'll be okay. But it wouldn't be easy. Yeah. So that's it. The meaning is with some rules to note. Remember, never enter before the session opens, and then wait for the 4 candle to close. That's very, very important. For example, here, we wait for the 4 candle. Here, this would be the 4 candle close. No, it closed here. Even if I just took a trade here, putting my stop loss here, and my take profit here, that is 8 pips. I'm sure that I would have got those pips. And I waited for the 4 candle to close. Look at what happened in pound JPY. So this is another rule. And then we wait for price to close above or below the we observe the NQ model, which is price closing above or below the moving average and the 4 hour levels, which has happened here. Yeah. Yes, that's it.